Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today we are looking at the 1995 release by Playmates from their classic Star Trek movie series of action figures. And these are obviously action figures that have appeared in all of the classic Star Trek movies. So from Star Trek, the motion picture, right through to the Undiscovered Country. And this particular figure we are looking at today is Martia, the shapeshifter, and this is the one that appeared in Star Trek, the Undiscovered Country. Okay, so this is the card it comes in. And at the very top of the card, it's got exclusive Skybox Playmates Deluxe Star Trek movie series collector card included. And there you can see an image of the USS Enterprise, that marvelous machine shooting through space. And it says classic Star Trek movie series. Born in choking hazard, small parts, not for children under 3 years. And you've got the Star Trek Delta badge logo. And it says Martia, the shapeshifter. Comes with Galactic Accessories, which includes a laser drill, the flare, drilling mask, leg irons, and bonus Star Trek movie action base. And it's assortment number 6450 and stock number 6457. And it says, as seen in Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country. And you've got the Playmates logo on the bottom right-hand corner. Okay, before we have a good look at the figure itself and the trading card, let's turn the card around and have a look at what we got printed on the back. Okay, so I've turned the card around, and this is what we've got on the back. So it says, Classic Star Trek Movie Series. Galactic Accessories, laser drill, a photon-powered device used for mining on the prison planet Rura Penthe, designed so it cannot be used as a weapon. Flare, primitive light source for inmate workers when they are entering the mines. Drilling mask, a useful piece of equipment that filters out harmful dust when prisoners are blasting through rocks in the mines. And leg irons, crude but effective, thus prevent prisoners from even thinking about escaping. It says, collect the whole universe of Star Trek heroes and villains as featured in the original Star Trek movies. And it says, exclusive Skybox Playmates Deluxe Star Trek movie series collector card included. So the other figures in the series, you've got Admiral Kirk from Star Trek The Motion Picture, Commander Spock from Star Trek The Motion Picture, General Chang from Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country, Dr. McCoy from Star Trek The Motion Picture, Commander Krug from Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, Lieutenant Zulu from Star Trek The Motion Picture, Lieutenant Savick from Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan, Lieutenant Uhura from Star Trek The Motion Picture, Khan from Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan, and Martia from Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country, which is obviously what this one is. And it's got Star Trek fans, and it's all about Star Trek Fan Club, how you can join the official Star Trek Fan Club. Copyright information, Paramount Pictures, assortment number 6450, stock number 6457. The Delta badge logo and the Playmates logo, ages 4 and up, and the barcode. And then on the bottom left-hand corner, let's just move this forward so we can read this. It says Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country, 1991, starring Inman as Martia, the shapeshifter. Guest appearance, Michael Dorn as Colonel Worf. Special notation, second Star Trek feature, directed by Nicholas Meyer. Star Trek Wrath of Khan was the first. And it says, Martia, a shapeshifter, came into the contact with James T. Kirk and Dr. Leonard McCoy in 2293. Captain Kirk had been chosen by Starfleet to represent the Federation at the Kitamir Peace Conference, where the Klingons and the United Federations of Planets tried to settle the differences. Unfortunately, Gorgon, the Klingon ambassador, whom Captain Kirk and Dr. McCoy were escorting, was killed by assassins. The assassination was blamed on the escorts. After the conviction, Captain Kirk and Dr. McCoy were sent to Klingon prison asteroid Rura Penthe. There they encountered Martia, the shapeshifter. Chemeloid, she took the form of a beautiful woman. Martia was able to show Captain Kirk and Dr. McCoy how to survive in the harsh environment on this asteroid, where the prisoners mined dilithium crystals. Later, she turned on Kirk and Dr. McCoy, leading them into a Klingon trap. She was double-crossed and killed by the Klingons' cohorts. Okay, so that is the back of the card. So without further ado now then, let's turn the card back round to the front and let's have a look at the figure herself. Okay, I've zoomed in on the figure itself, and there you can see the image of Martia on the right hand side just below Kirk on the card, which is Imran. That's how she looked in the film playing the part of Martia. And on the left hand side you can see the facial features of the figure, and it is a very, very good match, I've got to say. I think Playmates done exceptionally well on this particular figure. Her facial features are just incredible and do really look like Imran, who played Martia in the movie. So beautiful looking figure, and again highly detailed, and the sculpting is just fantastic, absolutely phenomenal. They got the eyes right, the nose right, the lips right, the hair right, everything is perfectly right about this figure. And she's dressed in her attire as she was when they first met her, and she is disguised as the beautiful woman here rather than the little girl and the big beast. But there she is in her boots, her coat, and her well, her outfit, her dress really, I suppose, or trousers, whatever it is. And there's the collector card there. If I just turn the up to the side there, you can see there's Dr. McCoy there with Martia, and that is from the Rura Pente planet, and they're outside in the ice, obviously trying to get off the planet. Okay, so that is the card. Let's go back to the figure, because I think this figure is absolutely astounding. I just want to get some measurements, so we're clear on the size. So she is 12 centimeters tall. Width wise she is 4 centimeters, and depth wise, yeah, about 2 centimeters deep. So that is the size of the figure. Now unfortunately, obviously, she is sealed onto the card, so I can't actually take her off, but I do have from my collection, here is my figure of Jadzia Dax in the original Star Trek uniform. The articulation on all these figures were pretty much the same. So articulation wise, you had the head, so the head turns from side to side. You've got the shoulders, the tops of the shoulders, the arms move up and down. You've got the twisting section of the arms, so you can turn the arms either way, and obviously you've got the elbows which go up and down. So and now they've done that so the arm moves, the hand doesn't move, but the arm does, so you can still turn the hand in any position, and it's the same on both arms. You've got the movable waist, the tops of the legs. Now this one, because she's in a dress there, it prevents the legs from moving very far on the tops of the legs. But then of course you've got the knee joints, and that is it really articulation wise. So not bad articulation for these figures. They were very, very good figures, and obviously you've got the accessories there as well, as you can see, and the collectible movie stand is at the back there. So pretty good figures. The detailing on these, Playmates really were very, very good at doing the detailing on the figures. They were very good. Not quite as good as Art Asylum in my opinion. I think Art Asylum figures were absolutely astounding. But then they were later than these. These were 10 years or so earlier than the Art Asylum one. So yeah, technology moves on a great deal. And these ones are nearly 20 years old. So yeah, technology has moved on an awful lot since then, and figures these days, the likenesses are pretty much incredible. But as I say, I think this one was done absolutely fabulously. Very, very good likeness to Martia. Yeah, just phenomenal figures, and all of the figures in this range were, I think they were all very, very, very well done in this movie collection series. So how well did they do? Well, yep. Like all of these Playmates figures at the time in the 90s, these figures just literally flew off the shelves. When we had the shop, we had deliveries come in of these figures. As soon as they were released, the first batches of figures would always fly off the shelf. Everyone knew they were coming. Regular customers knew that we was getting a delivery in from Bandai with figures, and they were there when the shop opened in the morning on the weekends to pick up their figures. So they flew off the shelves as soon as they come in. And then, of course, we then had to wait for another batch of delivery before we had them back in stock again. But even then, they never stayed on the shelf for long. And the quantities were quite minimal that came over to the UK. You ordered them 2 or 3 times, and then that was it. Bang, they had finished the line. So you couldn't get any more, which is a shame, really, because if the more quantity that we had at the time, the more figures that would be out there now. But they were quite limited over here in the UK. I don't know what it was like in the States, but certainly in the UK, the quantities that were available were quite limited. And also, because she was buying cases, you got more of certain figures in the cases and less of certain figures. So that's just the way that they manufactured them and put them in the case. So you always find that there was 1 or 2 of them where you only got 1 figure in a case, and those are the ones that obviously became the more collectible, as I believe this one was. Okay, so yes, they've done exceptionally well. They flew off the shelves, as with all these Playmates figures, because Star Trek was such a big thing in the 90s, and we were all crying out for merchandise. So yes, they just done exceptionally well. Of course, now we're talking 20 years on, and obviously the figures now are becoming more and more collectible as time goes by. They do still pop up from time to time on platforms, but nowhere near as many as there used to be. And obviously the prices have rocketed since they first started to appear on the platforms. So yeah, they're becoming more and more difficult to find, especially in this mint unopened condition. But as usual, we at Midas Touch have managed to find a few, and they're currently available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to quite simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Star Trek items and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles. Come to that, as over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely positive that you're not going to want to miss this, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or maybe just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed this very short video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again next time.